Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, as this is, once again, the Week 4 edition of SmackDown, and this is now part 2 of 3 for SmackDown, as we are now up to Rey Mysterio versus James Storm. This will be the third matchup of tonight, and of course, the next matchup, as announced in part 1, is going to be Kota Ibushi versus Samoa Joe. Once again, Ibushi having his own separate rivalry with Seth Rollins, and Joe having his own separate rivalry with Cesaro, but tonight, the rivalries are mixed up. Are going to be mixed up purposely, as Rollins is going to be in the main event tonight in that 12-man battle royal for the United States Championship. Also, with Cesaro not scheduled to be here tonight, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just not, booked into a matchup. Sadly, not booked into the United States Championship 12-man battle royal, as we need a whole lot of men to debut, and we also need to develop further rivalries, as the one between Dolph Ziggler, and Kevin Owens. As we meet again to the action, I see right there James Storm. He nails Rey Mysterio with a leap-in double hook facebuster, Triple H style. But Mysterio, he survived and went through 2 of them, and yet resilient as ever, as he is able to kick out ladies and gentlemen. Of course, last week we had Mysterio's tag team partner Billy Kidman take on James Storm tag team partner Bobby Roode / Robert Roode, and of course Roode, he did defeat Kidman, so let's see if Kidman's tag team partner Rey Mysterio could do anything better against Roode's fellow tag team partner James Storm. So if Mysterio does do better, then Kidman will see. I guess this will conclude in a tag team matchup, because this is just really to see which tag team is better and which tag team could climb up the power rankings faster. But first, we're going to determine it by seeing the one-on-one matches. I do know how this match ends, because I always do, mostly because I just record the videos and then after that just do a whole voiceover over them and then upload it, along with some great looking thumbnails, which I am surprised that I don't attract a whole lot of views / attention with those thumbnails. Anyway, going back into character, I broke kayfabe. Hooray. Kayfabe has already been dead. Rusev congratulating John Cena in real life for being in the Survivor Series matchup, with Cena being on Team SmackDown. Yep. Kayfabe is dead. Anyway, so, and like always, all these matches are always controlled by the CPU, just so it could be fair and have a fair advantage. Even though before, on iPhone, I thought that I couldn't do CPU matches. On Samsung, I knew I could do CPU matches on Book Revolution, but I didn't see the option to do CPU matches on iPhone, which I now use iPhone instead of Samsung. And I didn't see the option to do it until like the Week 2 edition of SmackDown or the Week 3 edition of Raw was when I finally realized that I could do it. Or like the Week 3 edition of SmackDown? I don't know. So we got James Storm. He has had a sharpshooter onto Rey Mysterio. Now, of course, the way to beat Rey Mysterio in any kind of match really is just to aim for legs Mysterio. Aim for the legs or back. If you take the legs and back out from the little high-flying guy, that is Rey Mysterio. Of course, you stop his ability of his speed and quickness, and just his strong suit in general, which also is his high-flying ability that he'll showcase throughout every matchup, which is why he's such an iconic cruiser. As see right there, James Storm just manhandles Mysterio, powerbombs him into the ring. Now, of course, James Storm, a great technical wrestler, I guess you'd say, a great high-talented wrestler, along with Bobby Roode and stuff. But then again, every superstar on SmackDown is highly, highly talented, unlike ECW, in which they have people like Gregory Helms, or Raw with people like Damien Sandow. Now, sure, SmackDown, we may be using Curtis Axel as the jobber, but Curtis Axel, he could easily pull off a better matchup than both Gregory Helms and Damien Sandow over on Raw for Sandow and over on ECW for Gregory Helms, aka the Hurricane. Now, ladies and gentlemen, wait, what? Mysterio, he has a chair. Mysterio, don't do it. And Storm missed the super kick, but ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter. As Mysterio, he just used the steel chair. James Storm, he wins this matchup by disqualification, of course. But I already knew that was going to happen. But I'm just going to try to act surprised here. But ladies and gentlemen, Mysterio, he just probably got desperate here because he did use the chair. That was the CPU. Like I said, I don't control this. Also, if I was doing touch screen controls with one of these wrestlers, I would suck at it, and it would be a squash match. Because I am horrible at touch screen controls, and I only use the virtual button control option. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so we got Billy Kidman losing by Rude, and then we got James Storm beating Rey Mysterio, but we didn't really know if that was gonna fully happen or not. Nation, of course, that's the same thing that Seth Rollins did to Kota Ibushi, but of course, I scripted that, and I made Rollins do that to Kota Ibushi, which made the referee develop. But now this will be a tag team referee between Mysterio and Kidman versus Storm and Rude now at this point, I guess. But Nation, Rey Mysterio probably just got too desperate against James Storm, in which where he couldn't control himself and just used the chair. Now, of course, Kidman, he did not do that Rude, and Rude did not do that Kidman. So that is very, very surprising. As we got Joe and Kota Ibushi on the ring apron. See right there, Kota Ibushi. The strength, he must have given up the energy. He must have lost after just doing that full-out suplex to Joe. Especially from the ring apron, and to just throw Joe into the ring. Joe feels manhandled at that point, and he's shown an angry Samoa Joe is the most dangerous type of Joe. To be fair, any kind of Joe is just a small Joe that you should watch out for, because he would just absolutely destroy you. Moralize, everything. As here, Joe grew some power bomb onto Ibushi. That's rope break. Now Ibushi having a submission, but that will also be a rope break. As Joe now bow and arrow submission. Hold, of course, breaking up all these rope breaks. They're gonna have to change their position in this matchup and the in-ring awareness if they want to be able to do a pinfall or submission. No, they're probably getting desperate at this point. See, there another powerbomb from Joe, and yet another rope break, ladies and gentlemen. Samoa Joe and Kota Ibushi, they're just probably getting desperate to just easily end off this matchup here against each other. Now, I don't know. I was gonna say something revolving around each men's separate rivalries, but I already said that in part 1 and stuff. So anyway, see there, Samoa Joe, a brainbuster onto Kota Ibushi. Of course, Ibushi, he's not going to be getting up that quickly. He nails the dropkick. And Joe trying to fight back with some kicks, trying to just get away the speed and quickness and energy that Kota Ibushi does have inside him, which makes him to kind of outmatch Joe. But of course, Joe, he is highly athletic for a man of his size, same like Chris Hero, who did have an impressive showing against John Cena earlier on today in the last matchup in part 1. See right there, another rope break. But now counter to a stun by Kota Ibushi. And Ibushi, he now has the momentum now. My advice to Ibushi will be try to just wear down Joe. Try to do a submission on him. Try to wear the big man down. And also just use Ibushi's speed and quickness advantage at this point to just outmatch Joe's strength. And then of course Joe, he uses his strength. Make sure to ground down Ibushi. Could wear him down with submission as well. Wear him down with his highly great technical grapple moves, and etc. So both these men could have a very even matchup, which they are thus far. As Joe with another brainbuster onto Kota Ibushi. Ibushi's not going to have a head by the end of this one. Nevertheless, the brain cells. That's why it's called a brain buster. Plants you right on your head. More deadlier than suplex, because of course suplex is just to the back, and usually to the back of the head, which could be very, very fatal. But of course, you mostly got the back to break the fall, as it will be falling first. But now Joe, he's getting wear down by Ibushi, but now he's gonna counter into a snapmare. Now Joe trying to go high risk here. We've seen him do this a couple of times, and nails the flying clothesline. Ladies and gentlemen, Ibushi's back and neck just probably got completely and utterly crushed against the mat, and Joe's arm as well. And see there's Samoa Joe, he gets hurt surrounded by Kota Ibushi. Now Ibushi, like I said, be using speed and quickness, and also putting him, also trying to wear down Joe with a submission. My bad. Apparently I can't talk today. Today's been a sort of day. It's been one of those days. As Ibushi nails dropkick against Joe. Off the ropes, nails all about to nail Hurricane. As here there's Samoa Joe with the Bridget Northern Light suplex. And he almost had the victory there. That was a great spot in the matchup. Imagine if Joe won like that. I would have been very, very happy with that ending. Especially the way the spot was set up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we got Ibushi and Joe. They're now fighting on the ring apron. Joe monkey flip, the leg strength of his is very easy. Greater than Ibushi. But Ibushi, he's going to counter the run momentum from Joe into a Hurricanrana. And now Ibushi, he has the more momentum going into the later on moments as each one passes by in this matchup. Joe, he's going to counter, but of course the pinfall on Ibushi is invalid as it is on the ropes, and a power slam by Joe. Samoa Joe. He's been looking very good throughout this matchup. So has Ibushi. Both men have been looking very good against each other as they have had almost an equal amount of momentum. Of course, Joe, he's done the greater deal of damage to Ibushi. But Ibushi, he's not going to give up. Same like with Ryback and Dolph Ziggler. With Dolph Ziggler just refusing to die against Ryback. But in the end, Ryback did beat him. But Ziggler, he did get out of multiple submissions and did get out of multiple pinfalls. But of course, that is a separate storyline involving Kevin Owens at the end attacking Ziggler as well from last week. So now Ibushi, he's going to nail down Joe with a snapmare. The pinfall is going to be invalid once more with that rope break. And now submission is invalid with that rope break as well. Ladies and gentlemen, they're not even bothering to move around each other, into the middle of the ring or at least away from the ropes. Because they just want to easily beat each other. Alright, they just want to easily get the win over each other. As Theodore Ibushi, he nails the beautiful moonsault. And now, with the surfboard submission held on to Joe, now that's a perfect spot in the ring. Make sure Joe doesn't get close to the rope break, or make sure Ibushi's not accidentally touching the ropes. As right now, Joe, he could easily use his superior arm strength against Ibushi. But no, he's going. Which he does. He gets out of it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kota Ibushi, as he counters Joe's Irish whip into his powerbomb like Northern Light suplex. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. 1, 2, 3, done. Count to 4. Count to 5. Count to 6. I'm kidding, because Joe got up straight after the 3 count. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Kota Ibushi, he has defeated Samoa Joe. So Seth Rollins' rival, Kota Ibushi, has pinned Cesaro's rival, Samoa Joe. So we'll see how the whole storyline between Rollins and Ibushi and Cesaro and Joe develop in the later weeks, along with the John Cena and Chris Hero rivalry that we did continue in part 1. And of course, part 3 will have and consist of the main event, the 12-man United States Championship Battle Royal. That does consist with Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens as 2 of those 12 men in the matchup. So we'll see how that rivalry consists to go through, especially if Owens or Ziggler wins that United States title. And imagine if Rollins wins the United States title. The one who's going to be breathing down on his neck for that United States title, of course, it's going to be Kota Ibushi, Seth Rollins' rival. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for part 2 of 3. Next up is going to be part 3 of the week 4 edition of SmackDown.